A young, failed artist stands transfixed before a display case in the Hofburg Museum. Inside lies an ancient Roman spear, blackened with age, bound with silver wire. The museum guard would later recall the strange young man standing there for hours every single afternoon. That failed artist was Adolf Hitler. The weapon Hitler was looking at was the mysterious spear of destiny, the weapon that pierced Jesus Christ's ribs 2000 years ago at the crucifixion. Legends say that whoever gets possession of the spear becomes invincible in battle. 1200 years earlier, a Frankish king named Charlemagne was crowned the first Holy Roman Emperor. He'd mysteriously climbed rank, and just years earlier had merely been one of many warring leaders in a fractured Europe. In 772, Charlemagne is fighting desperate battles just to hold his kingdom together. Then, according to legend, he acquires the Holy Lands from the Pope, and suddenly, everything changes. What followed defied all military logic. 47 campaigns, 47 victories. His empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Danube, from the North Sea to the Mediterranean. He crushed the Saxons, conquered the Lombards, and drove the Muslims out of Europe. Medieval chroniclers wrote that Charlemagne carried the spear of Christ into every battle, holding it high as his armies achieved the impossible. Contemporary accounts describe enemies fleeing at just the sight of Charlemagne's banner. Was it the spear? Or was it the belief in the spear that caused his victories? When the young Adolf Hitler stood in the museum before that same spear in 1909, he wasn't just looking at a piece of ancient metal. Hitler also believed that with the spear in his hands, he could conquer the world. Charlemagne carried it through 47 victorious campaigns, and Hitler knew from history lessons that Charlemagne wasn't the only one. Napoleon, arguably the greatest conqueror of all time, sought this spear desperately as well. From hearing this, can you guess what was the first thing Hitler did when he had enough power? On March 12, 1938, the day Hitler annexed Austria, his first order wasn't about government or military positions. It was to seize the spear. Within hours of entering Vienna, Hitler sent SS commandos directly to the Hofburg Museum. They knew exactly what they were looking for. By nightfall, the spear was in his hands. Hitler would later tell his inner circle that he'd first encountered the spear as a struggling young artist in Vienna. He claimed that in that moment, staring at the ancient weapon, he experienced a vision of his destiny. Hitler himself has admitted several times that during his young years, since he couldn't get possession of the spear back then, he tried spending as much time with it as possible and tried to absorb somehow some of its power that way. He believed that some ancient artifacts held real, tangible power. Power that could be harnessed, power that could change the world. Can you guess which was the first country Hitler took over from hearing this? Well, during his 1938 Anschluss, the first country the Führer annexed was Austria. This event involved the German army invading and integrating Austria into the German Reich. And one of the main reasons was to get possession of Christ's spear, because it was in Austria. From then onward, he became an unstoppable force. The Führer really believed his power came from the spear. And after he got it, he won battle after battle, until he lost the spear. After he got it, for the next 2 years, Germany quickly overran much of Europe and was victorious in every battle. They defeated and occupied Poland in 1938, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, and the Netherlands in 1940, followed later by Luxembourg, France, Yugoslavia, and Greece the next year. They conquered 9 countries in less than 2 years, one of which was France, a great power. So whether we believe this spear to hold power or not, 3 of the most successful ruthless military leaders in history all sought the spear of destiny for whatever reason. More than 100 years before Adolf Hitler attacked Vienna, Napoleon tried to conquer the city for the same reason in 1809. After the Battle of Austerlitz, he tried getting possession of the spear, but it had been smuggled prior to the battle, and he never found it. Obviously, someone had known the reason for his attack. The Spear of Destiny was the first ancient relic that Hitler laid his hands on, and he claimed it spoke to him in his dreams and in his visions, and that it directed his movements on the battlefield. That's why he believed there are other ancient relics that hold great power, and he felt it was his duty and his quest to obtain them all. As Allies made a final push to defeat the Reich in April 1945, one American unit received very specific orders. The 7th Army under General Patton was racing toward Nuremberg, not just to capture a city, but to seize a very important artifact Hitler had hoarded there, the Spear of Destiny. As American tanks rode through the rubble-strewn streets of Nuremberg, a special team headed straight for the underground bunker where the spear was kept. They found it exactly where intelligence reports said it would be, hidden beneath Nuremberg Castle. The timing was extraordinary. Just 90 minutes after Lieutenant William Horn officially took possession of the Spear of Destiny on behalf of the United States Army. Surrounded, in his bunker in Berlin, Adolf Hitler supposedly put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger. I am saying supposedly because we never saw the actual corpse. But that's another story for another time. Hitler himself had prophesied that losing the spear would mean his doom. Just as Charlemagne's empire crumbled when he had lost the spear, so too did the Third Reich collapse 10 days after the ancient weapon left Hitler's hands. Some believe the spear had been seized 80 minutes before Hitler's death, but this is hard to verify. What we know for sure is that he lost the war only after the spear got into the USA's hands. And ever since, the USA has been the most powerful force in the world. Nowadays, official records say the spear is displayed in a museum in Austria. You can actually go and see it. But the real story is that the USA took 9 months to return the spear to Austria. US troops took the Spear of Destiny on 30th of April 1945. And they returned it in early January 1946. And only then was it reinstated in the imperial treasury at Vienna's Hofburg Palace. That's 250 days, 9 entire months. So there's plenty of reason to believe the USA gave the Austrians a copy, a duplicate. Otherwise, there is no explanation as to why they kept the spear for 9 months. I'm Dank Sissoko and I thank you for watching Into the Unknown. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and share this video with friends because unlike the Reich, unfortunately I haven't got unlimited funds to continue funding my videos forever. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed longer episodes, you might want to check out this one. It's a blast. See you there.